As per instructed, I am going to start reading my letter to you, our wonderful newsletter participants and followers online, that I write each month for our Dream Queen Community Chronicle. So here we go. Happy November, Dream Queens and our supporters. This week is our Gals Lead Festival at the Port of Leonardtown, November 11th from 12 to 5. Come out and support our amazing club program for teens. We are featuring our sponsors and vendors in this newsletter, so you can scroll down and follow these amazing supporting businesses. This year keeps spinning in my head, and I want to share a few thoughts with you. The first thing I've noticed during the recovery from COVID is that many people are prioritizing their families and personal time more. They are making conscious decisions on how to spend their time and choosing not to overburden themselves. We have all learned how fleeting the present can be, and I feel this change is for the better. The other thing I am seeing is everyone is trying to catch up, and there's this constant feeling of anxiety and worry. This is the opposite of my first point, and I feel that there is a lesson in these two extremes. It is easy to get swept up in the fever of the holidays and to feel like there's never enough time. I can see guilt around both sides of this dilemma, and it is all about time. So, how do we manage our time and our feelings and our responsibilities and our families and our holidays, etc., etc., etc.? Recently, we added a piece to our facilitator training about the wise mind that was taught to us by Kathleen Stark, LMSW, and our facilitator coach, and I found it profoundly helpful. The wise mind is when we acknowledge and use both sides of our mind, the analytical, reasonable side and the emotional side, to make decisions. I found myself floating from one to the other and not making much progress. The value of the wise mind to me is that you cannot make any decisions until you acknowledge both sides. So, for example, this event has my mind spinning. What about this? Did I forget that? Should I do this? Should I have done that? And so on. The other side is saying, oh my gosh, this is going to be a big mess. Everybody's going to be angry and they're never going to support us again. Who am I to say I can run a program? And. The emotional side is usually the most debilitating, but the analytical makes so many darn lists, I don't know where to start. So the wise mind tells us to ask yourself questions until you find the root of the issue, and then you have the ability to prioritize and maintain your emotional self. Ignoring one or the other is where we make spontaneous decisions that may not be the best all-around choice or is absolutely wrong, but it sure felt right. The spontaneous emotional mind is the one that rattles off a text message that is as long as a book to a person's text that you are just shouting your feelings before you have time to come up with a reasonable response. We've all been there. Am I right? So, who is right? One, who is the one who is prioritizing their personal time or the one trying to do everything? I feel they're both right if they are making the decision from a wise mind. They are choosing family not out of obligation or because they were told to do so, but because they value their time and they want to be present with their loved ones. So, what about the anxious person who feels overwhelmed with responsibility? I think we are all that person throughout the day, the week, the month, and the year. The issue I feel is living in that place, asking what is important, what needs to be done, what must be done, what do I want to do, and why. Then we can start prioritizing. Maybe mark our calendars for each item we need to do and set aside time to do them. I always feel out of control in my thinking when I don't have a plan of action and I'm going through the days and just taking everything as it comes. In the end, we are human. We are going to feel and do silly stuff and smart stuff. We're going to look out for ourselves and others. And sometimes we're going to overreact out of turn. At the end, it is about intention and choice. We cannot always choose our circumstances and our have tos, but we can control how we respond to them and how we choose to react. I hope these words are helpful to you as you move into the holiday season. Don't beat yourself up the moment you make a mistake. Just make a new decision and move on. Don't worry about what could have been better because you can't do anything about it. You can only choose differently next time. Let's take one day at a time together. Let's enjoy each other and get stuff done. And please remember, everyone around you is a human who also makes mistakes, and please give them grace. Be kind, and the rest will work itself out. Thanks.